The blood on Doyen's hands was still warm when he pushed open the wrong hospital door. And the dying woman inside whispered something that would destroy everything he'd built in the underworld. Seoul's underworld. 11:47 p.m. Doyen wiped the blade clean with mechanical precision. The basement of the Gangnam warehouse reeked of copper and fear. His lieutenant bowed low, trembling. The traitor talked before he died, boss. Said the Yakuza are moving product through Itaewon General Hospital. 3rd floor, room 304. Doyen's jaw tightened. Someone was using his territory. 20 years building this empire, from orphaned street rat to Korea's most feared crime lord, and some Japanese fool thought they could operate in his city? Get the car, he commanded, buttoning his blood-speckled Tom Ford suit. We handle this tonight. His reflection in the warehouse mirror showed a man sculpted by violence. Sharp cheekbones, cold eyes, a scar cutting through his left eyebrow. At 38, Doyen had never lost a war. He didn't plan to start now. Itaewon General Hospital, room 307, same night. Kate had stopped counting days 3 weeks ago. What was the point? The IV dripped steadily into her thin arm. Stage 4 lymphoma, the doctors said in broken English, their eyes full of pity she didn't want. She was 29 and dying alone in a country that stared at her black skin like she was an exotic mistake. Her phone sat silent on the bedside table. No calls from Atlanta. Not from her ex-boyfriend who'd bought her the plane ticket to find herself in Korea, then ghosted when the diagnosis came. Not from the modeling agency that dropped her contract the moment she lost her hair. Not from anyone. The Seoul skyline glittered through her window. Millions of lights, millions of lives. None of them hers. She closed her eyes, too tired even for tears. Then the door burst open. Have you ever met someone at your absolute lowest moment who changed everything? Drop a comment below. I read every single one. Doyen's hand instinctively moved to the gun under his jacket. Wrong room. The number plate read 307, not 304. But he froze. The woman in the bed wasn't what stopped him. It was her eyes. Dark, exhausted, but somehow still burning with something he'd forgotten existed. Not fear, curiosity. You're not the nurse, Kate said, her voice raspy but steady. American accent. And you're definitely not supposed to be here. Doyen's finger relaxed off the trigger. Wrong room. My mistake. He should have left. Every instinct screamed to walk away. But something about the clinical emptiness, no flowers, no cards, no evidence anyone cared if she lived or died, made him pause at the door. Room 304 is across the hall, she offered, studying his expensive suit, the dangerous edge in his posture. But whoever you're looking for probably doesn't want to be found. Smart. Perceptive. You're alone, he said. Not a question. Kate's laugh was bitter. Observant. They teach you that in whatever business keeps you out this late in designer suits with blood on your cuff? Doyen glanced down. A single drop of crimson stained his white sleeve. He met her gaze without flinching. Dangerous business. Everything's dangerous when you're already dying. She shifted against her pillows, wincing. At least you chose your poison. Mine chose me. The heart monitor beeped steadily between them. Outside, Seoul hummed with life neither of them fully belonged to, him by choice, her by circumstance. How long have you been here? Doyen asked, surprising himself. In this room, 43 days. In Korea, 6 months. Alive? Her smile was sad. The doctors give me 3 more. Maybe 4 if I'm unlucky. Something cracked in Doyen's chest. Something he'd sealed away after watching his mother die in a room just like this, abandoned and alone. What's your name? Kate. Yours? Doyen. If you're already hooked, hit that subscribe button right now. This story is about to get insane. What do you think Doyen does next? Comment below. Doyen left without another word. Professionalism. Focus. Room 304 was empty. His intel was bad, or the Yakuza had already moved. He should have forgotten her immediately. But driving through Seoul's neon-lit streets at 2 a.m., all he saw were those eyes. 43 days alone, dying in a foreign country with no one. Not my problem, he told himself, lighting a cigarette with shaking hands he refused to acknowledge. His phone buzzed. Boss, the Yakuza shipment was delayed. Tomorrow night, same location. Fine. He hung up, staring at the hospital's fading lights in his rearview mirror. Kate's room. Next morning. The morning nurse was surprised to find expensive white roses on Kate's bedside table. No card. Just 12 perfect blooms that definitely weren't there during night rounds. Kate stared at them, heart racing despite the sedatives. Do-yun. She should be terrified. Everything about him screamed danger, the cold eyes, the blood, the way he moved like violence was a second language. But terror required energy she didn't have. And somehow, he'd come back, or sent these. Either way, someone had thought of her. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. The roses suit you better than the hospital walls. D. Kate's hands trembled, typing back. How did you get my number? I'm very good at finding things. How are you feeling? Like I'm texting a criminal. You are. Does that scare you? Kate looked at the roses, then at her empty room, then at the IV slowly draining into her dying body. I'm too tired to be scared, and too lonely to care what you are. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. I'll visit tonight. If you want. Kate closed her eyes. Every rational cell screamed this was insane. Room 307. I'll be here. Not like I'm going anywhere. Do-yun came every night for a week. Always after midnight when the hospital corridors emptied and nurses changed shifts. He'd slip in like a shadow. Expensive takeout hidden under his coat. Jjajangmyeon, tteokbokki, samgyeopsal from restaurants that didn't deliver. You're going to get caught, Kate whispered on night 4, watching him set up an entire Korean BBQ spread on her hospital tray. I own this hospital, Do-yun said simply, unwrapping SSM. Well, the board thinks a corporation owns it. That corporation is mine. Kate's eyes widened. You're serious? I don't joke about real estate. He held up a lettuce wrap. Eat. You've lost weight since I met you. I have cancer, Do-yun. Weight loss is kind of the package deal. His jaw tightened. The treatment they have you on is outdated. You've been researching cancer treatments? Kate couldn't hide her shock. Do-yun met her eyes, something vulnerable flickering beneath the ice. Every night, there's a clinical trial in Switzerland. Immunotherapy, 73% success rate for your specific lymphoma type. I can't afford... I can. The words hung between them like a grenade. Why? Kate's voice cracked. You don't know me, I'm nobody, just some black girl dying in the wrong country, who you met by accident? There are no accidents. Do-yun's voice was fierce. I've killed 17 men, Kate. Destroyed families. Built an empire on blood and fear. And every single night for 20 years, I've slept perfectly fine. He leaned forward, his eyes burning into hers. Until I met you, now I lie awake wondering who the hell abandons someone like you to die alone, and I can't. His voice broke. I won't let that happen. Kate's tears came hot and fast. You're insane. Probably. He wiped her cheek with surprising gentleness. But I'm your kind of insane now. My mother died in a hospital room like this. Do-yun's confession came on night 12, after Kate's worst episode yet. Vomiting, seizures, the machine screaming while nurses rushed in. He'd stayed hidden in the bathroom, emerging only when silence returned, and Kate lay exhausted, shaking. Now he sat in the visitor's chair he'd claimed as his own, head in his hands. I was 9, he continued, voice hollow. My father ran a small gang in Busan, nothing big, but he made enemies. They killed him, took everything. My mother. She got sick from the stress. Stomach cancer. We had no money, no family. Kate's hand found his, weak but steady. She died on a Tuesday morning, alone. I was in the hallway because they wouldn't let children in after 9 p.m. His fingers tightened around hers. I heard her call for me. I heard her, and I couldn't reach her. Doyen! I swore I'd never be powerless again, never be poor. Never watch someone I. He stopped, eyes glistening. Never let anyone die alone. Kate pulled him closer with strength she shouldn't have. Is that why you do this? The crime, the violence? I did it to survive, to matter, to make sure no one could ever take from me again. He looked at her, raw and unguarded. But you're dying with grace. No empire, no guns, just yourself. And somehow you're stronger than I've ever been. I'm not strong, Kate whispered. I'm terrified every second. Then we're terrified together. Doyen pressed his forehead to hers. I'm getting you to Switzerland, Kate, next week. I don't care what it costs. Your enemies will see it as weakness. Let them try me. The Switzerland treatment was brutal. Doyen rented a villa in Zurich overlooking the lake, converting the entire third floor into a medical suite. He hired the world's best oncology team, translators, chefs who specialized in nutrition for cancer patients. And he stayed. Every injection, every reaction, every terrifying night when Kate's fever spiked and doctors rushed in, Do-yoon was there holding her hand, whispering in Korean she didn't understand, but somehow felt. What are you saying? She asked one dawn, after the worst had passed. That you're a fighter, that you're beautiful, that I... He stopped himself. Say it. Kate's voice was stronger now. Week 6 of treatment showing results. Her hair was growing back in soft coils, color returning to her cheeks. In my world, saying it makes you a target, Doyen said quietly. Everyone I've ever cared about becomes leverage, a weakness. And I'm not already? Kate challenged. Doyen, you've spent millions on me. Your men know, your enemies probably know. The words don't change the truth. He cupped her face, thumbs tracing her cheekbones. I love you, Kate. Utterly, completely. In a way that terrifies me more than any bullet ever has. Kate's smile was radiant. I love you too. And I'm going to live, Doyen. For you. For us. For this impossible thing we're building. He kissed her then, soft. Reverent, tasting of second chances and futures neither believed they'd have. Outside, snow began to fall over Zurich. Inside, a Mafia boss and a dying woman held each other like the world had finally stopped trying to tear them apart. When you're better, Doyen murmured against her hair, I'm taking you home, to Seoul, as my wife. Kate laughed, tears streaming. Is that a proposal or an order? Both. Then my answer is yes. The photo arrived 3 days before Kate's final treatment. Doyen was in a meeting with his Swiss security team when his phone buzzed. Unknown number. A picture. Kate's hospital in Atlanta. Her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. A news article about Kate's miraculous recovery going viral. Then the text, she's famous now, worth something. We're coming for what's ours. The Yoon Syndicate. Doyen's blood went cold. Or the Yoon Syndicate. His oldest rivals in Seoul. They'd been watching, waiting. And now they knew exactly how to destroy him. He burst into Kate's room, face ashen. We need to leave. Now. What? Doyun, I have one treatment left? They know about you. His voice was ragged with fear she'd never heard. Kate, they'll take you, hurt you, use you to gut me from the inside, and I can't... So what do we do? Kate stood, stronger now, but still fragile. Run forever? Hide? Let them win? I'm sending you to America, new identity, protection. You'll be safe. Without you? Kate's eyes flashed. You're trying to abandon me after everything? I'm trying to save you, Doyen roared. Don't you understand? Being with me is a death sentence. I was selfish. I was stupid. I let myself love you, and now they'll kill you just to watch me break. Then break! Kate grabbed his face, forcing him to look at her. Break with me. Fight with me. But don't you dare send me away like I'm some weak thing that can't handle your world. You almost died, Kate. And you brought me back to life. Her voice cracked. The cancer didn't kill me. Loneliness almost did. If you send me away, you finish what the disease started. Do-yoon's composure shattered. I can't lose you. Then don't let go. Oh my god, what would you do in Do-yoon's position? Protect her by letting her go or fight together? Comment your choice and subscribe. You need to see how this ends. Do-yoon disappeared for 2 days. Kate completed her final treatment alone, doctors celebrating her remission while her heart shattered. He'd left, just like everyone else. Until the third morning when her hospital room door opened. Do-yoon stood there but different. His expensive suit was gone, replaced by simple black clothes. His perfectly styled hair was disheveled, and his eyes burned with decision. I talked to my counsel, he said quietly. Told them I'm stepping back from operations, transitioning power. I've already liquidated 70% of my assets, legal businesses only. The rest, the violence, the territory, I'm done. Kate's heart stopped. Do-yoon, no. That empire is your life. It was my life. He knelt beside her bed. You are my life now. I've spent 20 years building power so I'd never be powerless again. But real power, Kate? Real strength? It's choosing you every single time. Even if it costs me everything. The Yoon Syndicate? I made a deal. They get my soul territory. I disappear. We both walk away breathing. His smile was bitter. Turns out a man in love is easier to negotiate with. They think they won. Did they? Kate whispered. Do-yoon pulled out a small velvet box. I lost an empire, but I gained you. You tell me who won. The ring inside was simple, perfect. A single diamond that caught the Swiss sunlight. Marry me, Kate. Not as a mafia boss and his prize, as Do-yoon and Kate. Two people who found each other in the worst possible moment and refused to let go. Kate's hands trembled taking the ring. Where do we go? Anywhere, everywhere, nowhere. He slid the ring on her finger. As long as I'm with you, I'm home. Yes, Kate breathed. Forever, yes. 1 year later, Jeju Island. Kate stood on the beach, toes in the sand, watching the sunrise paint the sky gold and pink. Her hair had grown back full and thick. Her body was strong, healthy, alive. Behind her, their small house sat nestled among the orange groves. Nothing like Do-yoon's former penthouse, but infinitely warmer. Arms wrapped around her waist. Do-yoon's chin rested on her shoulder. Penny for your thoughts, Mrs. Kang? He murmured. He'd taken his mother's maiden name, leaving Do-yoon the crime lord behind. Just thinking about wrong turns, Kate said softly. How you walked into room 307 instead of 304. How one mistake changed everything. Not a mistake. Do-yoon turned her to face him. Fate, destiny, whatever you want to call it. Behind them, a child's laugh rang out. Their daughter, adopted 6 months ago from Kate's hometown in Atlanta, ran toward them with shells in her tiny hands. Appa, Yama, look what I found. Do-yoon scooped her up, his fierce, dangerous edges softened into pure love. Kate watched her reformed mafia boss husband become putty in their 4-year-old's hands, and her heart swelled impossible big. Do you miss it? Kate asked later after they'd tucked their daughter in. The power, the empire? Do-yoon pulled Kate close, looking at the simple life they'd built. Teaching English, running a small cafe, raising a child, loving each other fiercely. I was the most powerful man in Korea, he said quietly. And the loneliest. Now I'm nobody special, just a man who loves his wife and daughter more than breathing. He kissed her forehead, echoing that first night. There are no accidents, Kate. Only doors we choose to walk through. Or wrong rooms, Kate smiled. The right wrong room. Outside, the Jeju waves whispered their approval. 2 broken people made whole, 2 impossible lives made beautiful. All because a mafia boss took a wrong turn and found the only right thing he'd ever done. If this story wrecked you emotionally, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories that will make you believe in love again. Drop a comment telling me, what was your favorite moment? And have you ever had a wrong turn that changed your life? Share your story below. I read every single one. You are loved, you matter, and your story isn't over yet.